August. I had to check my notes. 2018, and my name is Laura. I'll be your host. There's already a lot of If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back, and if you're a new viewer, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like what you see. So this is a knitting podcast. I have no real life knitting friends, and I am using this sort of as my knit night and trying to sort of join in with the online community that I think so far everything I have found about has been wonderful. So places you can find me. So here I am the Lonely Knitter on YouTube. I am also Laura Robertson on Ravelry. I have now set up a podcast group for the Lonely Knitter. So Lonely Knitter podcast group on Ravelry is set up and running, and my first giveaway thread is going, an introductions thread is going, and there's already a few people in there with me, even though we haven't really announced it yet. I hadn't really announced it yet or anything. There's Instagram. I'm the Lonely Knitter on Instagram, and I'm on there quite a lot at the moment because there's so many amazing dyers and bag makers and stuff, and it's really hard to like not be on Instagram because I'm constantly like, ooh, scrolling through. So yeah, let me get started. So I've got notes again today, same as last week, and I'm going to try and write my notes up and put them on a thread in the Ravelry group for people to see. This week I'm going to go FOs, whips, stash enhancement, and then my sort of week in review and things that's been going on. So it's a totally different order from last week, but it just made a bit more sense this week. So FOs, I do have one finished object this week, and that is my Bakery Bears socks. So these are vanilla socks. I don't have sock blockers. Sorry, I might buy some soon. I would really like some. It's just I don't have an awful lot of yarn money, and so what I do have, like I don't know. I want sock blockers. I really want sock blockers, but there's so much beautiful yarn and bags and stitch markers, and it's just priorities. I'm sure I'll get them at some point. If not, I might do what Bakery Bears Kay did ages and ages ago. I think it was her, made some cardboard cutouts and just to put them on, stretch them out. So we'll see how that goes. So this is them. They are knit from Bakery Bears yarn. I think her Hardwick base. I think I have the tag. Yep. Nope, that's not the tag. Yep, this is the tag. So it's Bakery Bears Hardwick base, which is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% silver stellina, and the main colour of the socks is in the Harry Potter colourway. Well, it's all Harry Potter colourways, but the main part is in the autumn term Hogwarts colourway, which is just beautiful. I haven't got the best light because it's gone 9:30 at night. And then the toes and cuffs I've done in the contrasting mini skein that came with the big skein, which is After All This Time, which is actually coming out really green. Like there isn't, but it's really like a gorgeous blue with little bits of purple, and it's so beautiful. If I get the chance to get my hands on a full skein of After All This Time, I definitely would go for it. So it's just gorgeous. So they're finished. These were my Bruges socks. So when we went to Bruges, I put Progress Keeper in. They were very nearly finished, so it was literally just a tiny bit of foot and then a toe, and I was done. So it wasn't much to do. And this is one of the Progress Keepers that I made the other week and showed. When we went to Bruges, these were my holiday knitting. We only went for a weekend, and I cast them on as we got in the car, drove to the Eurostar, got the Eurostar. Obviously this is all with a toddler, so quite a lot of the time I couldn't knit, otherwise they would have been a lot faster. And then we got the Eurostar from, not St Pancras, we went from Ebbsfleet to Brussels, and then we got another train from Brussels to Bruges. And so there was some train knitting time when I wasn't holding our little girl, and then the rest, like just when we were out and about, when we were sat in the restaurant, just got a little bit done at a time, and then all it had left was like that tiny bit of foot in the chair, and then it was done. So I just finished them off this week, and it was a quick win, definitely. So one pair of socks to go in my box of socks. I've got a box going on. I didn't join I don't know if there's a box of socks going on this year. I should look and check, but a couple of months ago I just decided to get a load of my sock yarn together and stack up my new socks in there rather than wearing them straight away. It's hot now anyway, so I wouldn't want to wear them. Well, I might wear them, I don't know. It's boiling hot though. But come winter, I want to have this lovely stash of fresh new knit socks, so that's going in there for me. Being selfish with my knitting. That is my only FO. I don't have any other FOs. So on to whips. I may not have any other FOs, but I do have a hoe. This sock. This is a slip stitch sock. So I didn't get a pattern for this, but it's just like a standard, it's my standard vanilla sock recipe, which is just one that I've been doing forever. I need to find a new heel, a new short row heel that I can memorise, that I like a lot more, because this one is a wrap and turn heel that I've just had in my brain forever and ever and ever, and it does have little holes. I've done the fish lips kiss heel a few times and others, but I don't know, this just sticks in my head so easily, and it fits so well on me that I think I just have to find something else that is, I just haven't found the right one yet. Anyway, so the cuff is just a 202 rib, and then I work on a 64 stitch count sock on a 2.5mm needle for myself, and so all I did, instead of knitting every round after the cuff, I knit 3, slip 1, knit 3, slip 1, knit 3, slip 1 all the way around for 2 rounds, and then I knit around, and it didn't always work out. Like here it didn't really work out, but here it did, and it did this lovely thing of dragging the colour from before into the colour below, which I really, really wanted. No, this yarn is so beautiful. The bottom side of the sock, so I do all the way around the leg. The bottom side of the sock, however, is just knit, and it's so pretty and just it's knit, and it makes me really wish I had another ball so that I could do another just a plain vanilla sock. I was a bit stupid though. I don't know what went on in my brain. I know that if you do the whole slip the 4th stitch, then it will make it a tighter leg. It's not as stretchy out as it would be normally. So it is a little bit tight to get on just here where your ankle is, but it does go on, and then once it's on, it's a lovely snug fit, so I'm actually quite happy. Probably would go up at least 4 more stitches next time for another repeat, but I'm really happy. I'm not enough to rip back at all. I finished the sock. So the yarn for this is East of 3 hand dyed yarn. I really like this yarn. I bought this a little while ago now. I showed it on the podcast when I first got it. This is the card, East of 3, and they're on Etsy. I'm pretty sure I got it on Etsy, though it does have www.eastof3.co.uk on here. I know I got it on Etsy, and they're on Instagram as well, and shows all gorgeous yarns on there as well. So this colourway is Santa, Trees and Clementines. So it is a Christmas one, but with the orange with the clementines, like I can see Christmas in there when you say Christmas, but I would happily wear these anytime. And then I did the heels and toes in a contrasting Patterns Diploma Gold 4-ply. I have tons of this set around from, I used to make a lot of colourwork mittens when I was at uni, and it's really affordable yarn, and it matches really well, because I don't know if you can see a slight difference. This is the last stripe, this here, before I start the toe, is the last stripe of white, and then that's the patterns on the top. So there is a very slight difference, but you can't really tell, so I'm really happy with how they've blended in. So first sock is finished, second sock has begun. I've finished the cuff, and I'm now just finished the first repeat of the 3 row 3 round repeat on the leg, so I'm not very far into that one. And I was trying to knit it just as I was starting, and I suddenly realised that I am not quite bright enough to count to 3 and talk at the same time and keep my normal like talking pace up. So I don't know what that says about me. Not a lot of good. But these, I'm really happy with how these are turning out. And this yarn, I need to show you the ball because it came already balled up, and I love it when I have never had a ball of yarn like this before. I've had it in a skein and I've balled it up myself, but you see them online all the time and they are amazing, and I love when they've been caked up one colour and then one colour like that. A single shot I just haven't ever bought. I've always bought skeins and never bought one like that before. I always caked them up myself on my ball winder. So yeah, loving working with that, and that is on my 2.5mm Knit Pro Zings, and it is living in the cat bag that I showed you last week from Duckpool Lane. And my little girl loves this cat bag. She goes, cat, 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 and points at everything on it. So that's those. My next whip is one from last week again. This is Payday Pullover by Sweater Freak Knits, and it is a test knit, but she did say it's absolutely fine for us to share on social media and things, so I'm going to share with you. So I'm nearly finished the body. This is the front. And then I'm now on, it's got lace on the bottom. I won't bring it too close to show you anything, but it's on her Instagram, Sweater Freak Knits, and I think it looks brilliant on there. The Progress Keeper, that's where I was last Sunday, so you can see that's where I was, and this is where I am now, down by the bottom. So there's a neckband and sleeves after I finished the bottom, which it's really not far away at all now. I had a big stall on that I'm knitting out of Serdar Dapple. If I could knit it out of a hand-dyed yarn, I would be there in a second, but my budget is so tight right now. It's a very sad state of affairs. But it is a lovely simple knit I am finding so far, but I don't think it looks simple by the lace on the bottom, but it is. It's so good. But it is a test knit, and it was stalled because there was some errors in the pattern. Totally to be expected, that's the reason you were test knitting it, it's absolutely fine. But I didn't want to carry on, so one of the other knitters carried on going with what they thought should be the pattern instead to finish the body, and obviously that then meant when the next version, when she got a chance, because she's got a lot of test knits running at the same time, but when she then got a chance to go on and have a look and sort out the pattern and write the next version up, the other person who was knitting my size was already done with that and didn't want to put it back, was going on to the sleeves, so that hasn't been tested. So I'm now test knitting that bit, and there was a couple of other things, queries, and it just took a little while, so that's why it hasn't had as much progress in it as I would have liked. I would have liked to have finished the body and be at least started on one of the sleeves, but we're getting there. It's not going badly. I've now used 2 balls. This is my 3rd ball. I've just started it. I've just done my first ever magic knot. I think I've already knitted it in, and it was that neat and tidy that I didn't even notice. I've heard of magic knots, I've heard people do them, but I've always just done this whole twist it together and carry the old yarn for a little while and afterwards weaving it in. I'm in a magic knot all the time. That's a beautiful thing. I was like, how did I not know about how that worked? Why did I not, I knew it was a thing, but I didn't bother going and finding out about it and knowing how it worked. I don't understand what's wrong with me, but now magic knot all the time. Thank you. But yeah, this is the 3rd ball. It might not be enough, but they have tons at my local yarn store not that long ago in the same dye lot, and I don't think there'll be a problem with me getting another one if I need it. So that's that sweater. And my last one, now this is not my last whip in my house. This is just the last whips I've worked, the whips I've worked on this week. I have about 500 whips in this house. It's a little bit out of hand, maybe not 500, but a few. And I am going to show you some more of the ones that I have had out over the last few weeks. This is one that I've done a little bit of this week, but I've done mostly in the last few weeks. And it ties in with stash enhancement. So this is whips and stash enhancement at the same time because most of this is new. So this is just some leftovers. These are my needles and that yarn, and more leftovers. Oh, it's all a little bit frantic in here. But I'll start with the part of it that is stash enhancement. So this project is for my wedding, and I am knitting these little hearts. This is a free pattern on Ravelry, just called Hearts, I think. I'll make sure, I'm going to do show notes this time, and I'll make sure I put the real name and the designer in there because it's bad of me not to. And it is sitting in some of my stash enhancement, which is this. This is my Mrs. Brown's Bags sock sack. This was a birthday present for myself. I got birthday money from my parents, and but it's nearly 10 o'clock. Who comes, I don't know if you heard that, but basically someone just came beeping their horn down our street at 10 o'clock at night. It's a little residential cul-de-sac. It's not, there's no businesses down here. Nearly everyone has children. Who does that? That's going to be my screenshot, isn't it? So, got birthday money. A lot of it went on serious things, like I had to have a new phone because mine was well and truly dead. And I bought a Kindle. That's not a serious thing, but it was a fun thing, but it wasn't a yarn thing. And it left me enough money when Mrs. Brown's Bags Etsy shop had a sale. I got to buy one, and it was probably a little bit more than I would normally spend, but that is because I'm always so conscious of my budget. But I really wanted one, and when she had this sale, it cost me £25 all in. So that's the bag and the shipping from Canada, and I was like, that's brilliant. That is just brilliant. Like, that's a good price. Do you know what I forgot about? Customs. I've been stung by customs every single time I've ever ordered anything from abroad. So I don't know why I thought that this time would be different. Oh, no, I don't know why I forgot about it this time, because I shouldn't have. They charged me another £13. 13 quid from customs, and £8 of that is just an admin fee. And I just think, what a cheek. There's nothing you can do about it. If I hadn't gone and got my back, like, I'd have missed out. And at the end of the day, it was my birthday present, so it's fine. It is absolutely fine, but customs is a rip. This is when I wish I lived in America or Canada, because they have so much gorgeous yarny things. I know there is good stuff in the UK too. I totally know there is, but there's so many things that I want to try that you can't get here. Like, that's very expensive to get here. I really, really want to try a lot of yarns. I just need a big holiday where I drive around America and Canada and have tons of money, and like maybe a bus. I could have a yarn bus. They're still beeping. Who does that? Anyway, so back to the matter in hand. Mrs. Brown's Bags, new stash enhancement. Housing, more stash enhancement. So not all of this is stash enhancement, but I have basically developed a slight obsession with minis. Now, I've got somewhere upstairs a half-knit Cozy Memories blanket that I did when I was in uni. So I have been out of uni for 6 years. So it's old and it's up there and it's not being used, and I need to finish it. But then I placed an order with Nora George Yarns, again because of Instagram enabling me, and I got a ton of mini skeins, and they were all gorgeously skeined up, but I have unskeined them and balled them all up, so they are all amazing. I bought 10 gram mini skeins, and then I balled them all up and put them all in this bag. I bought one set of 5, and then a couple of weeks later I bought another set of 5. And if you go for mystery, there's loads in here. If you go for mystery skeins, mini skeins, then the 10 gram ones are £2 each, I think, on her group. I'm sure it's 10 gram ones and not 5. It might be 5 gram actually. Can't remember, but whatever. You can get 5 mini skeins for a tenner, and then it's £4 to post. So £14, and you get 5 little skeins. And so I did that twice over the last sort of 6 weeks, and put them all in here and started knitting these hearts. So I didn't knit all of these this week, I only knit one of them this week, but I'll just show you them. So there's this one, and then there's this green one, and there's this one with the rainbow speckles, this one which I just love, that's very gorgeous, and then this one, and this one. They are all from Nora Georgians. And then this is another one. And the way this pattern works, it is a free pattern on Ravelry, is that you start at the bottom, you're in the round the whole time, so there's no need to do any seaming, and you then split here and knit up to the top of this bit of heart, and then kitchen stitch this, and then knit up to the, pick up these stitches, knit up to the top of this bit, stuff it, and then kitchen stitch. So literally no sewing, and I don't count kitchen stitch really as sewing. I don't mind kitchener at all, to be honest. So that's another one in the works. I've got loads of toy stuffing because I've made a million toys over the years, and I'm going to attach like a little bit of lace, or I'll probably get a white yarn like what I've used for the heels and toes, just that 4-ply, and do a crochet chain or just a little loop even, and I'm going to attach it in there, and every one of my wedding guests will get one of these as part of their favour, and I wouldn't mind doing a load of extra ones and having them hanging around. And my wedding's at the end of October, so I've got a little while to go. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 6 done so far, and I need 44. That's fine, I know I can do it. So in there is all my little skeined up minis from Nora Georgians, and then I had a little dig around because I kept thinking I don't have that many old bits of yarn, old bits of sock yarn that I can do. I need to buy minis off people. But when I really started digging around, I mean this isn't even half it, but my house is just full of little end bits of yarn. I can't believe how many end bits of yarn there are around my house. There's so much through there. I then thought I'd like to swap with people. I've got quite a lot, and I went on to the Knitting Expat. And anyway, I'll get to that in a minute because I have a little bit more. I'll talk about that, and I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got one more stash enhancement to talk about this week. I need to get this out first. So these are whips. It's a free pattern, hearts pattern on Ravelry. I will make sure I put the designer and everything in the show notes, which will go onto a Ravelry thread. And they're really quick and easy to make and really fun, and I think very, 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 very cute. So that's my last whip. This is my other stash enhancement. It's a very, oh no, it's a very dinky little thing. I wasn't going to buy these because I haven't got a lot of money, and I declared myself on a minor yarn diet for a little while, but then I saw these and they were amazing, and I spent a tenner, and I don't think a tenner is much for these because they are amazing. So they are from the Steph Cuddles. They're from Steph Cuddles. She's on Instagram, and they are stitch markers that are tiny slices of cake, and there's hair details, and it's Stitch Cuddles by Steph Cuddles, and that's www.stephcuddles.com or www.stephcuddles.etsy.com, and they are amazing. I've got to show you these. So they're so detailed. Can you see that? Can you see the layers? Little bits on the top. This one's got little hearts on the top, and then carrot cake. And this one has little hundreds and thousands. It's got jam in the middle. This one, another chocolatey one, cream layer, and then a Victoria sponge. And I just thought they were amazing. So there's 6 of them, and this is starting properly. I wanted to really start off my collection properly of stitch markers because all I have now are the ones that I've made and a few of those locking plastic ones, and I saw them and I was like, I need these in my life. So from now on I'm going to be using these, and she sent me a little extra in there which is like a love heart sweet, and it says cuddle me. I don't know how well whether you're going to be able to see that because the light isn't very good in here, but it says Cuddle Me. It's got the little love heart, and it's on one of those stitch markers that you can, you know, the knit safety pins. I have to say, I have never owned one of these before. I've never really needed one. I have the lockable stitch markers, but does that not remind you of something? That shape. I always think that shape. I'm just saying. But yeah, cute little freebie. So those are my stash enhancements this week, and so I put myself on this self-declared yarn diet, and then I was like, they're stitch markers, they don't count. And then I may have bought some more stuff. It's not my fault, there was a sale. It wasn't my fault. So I have got more coming. Probably be here next week, which means that I will probably show you that, and then the stuff that I have been saving from the last few weeks will just get bumped back and back and back until I eventually have no stash enhancement, and then I'll show it to you. I've got it all written down in the front of my little notebook so I won't forget. So that's all my stash enhancement. I was now going to do just a quick week in review. I'm really trying to keep it short because it is really late. It's about 10 o'clock now on Sunday night. So there is going to be some nitty chat in my week in review, but this is like if you're not interested in my personal life and things that I'm doing and that are going on, then this is where you'll probably want to go, in which case it was lovely to see you. And if you would like to go over to the Ravelry group and join and go in the instructions thread and introduce yourself and join the giveaway, then please do. I'll just quickly talk about the giveaway. So I've not got all the stuff out tonight because it was so late, but there is 2 skeins of yarn in the giveaway. There will be a pair of these Knit Pro Zings. I'll buy a new set because they're my favourite ones. There is Knit Pro Symphony, the little short sock ones, because I couldn't get on with the pair, so I'm gifting them away to someone else who can, hopefully. There may be a project bag that I will make. I need to get around to making again, so we'll see. There will definitely be a set of the stitch markers that I have made, and there might be a few minis. So that's a giveaway thread over on my Ravelry group. All I'm asking is that people comment and give me a recommendation. That can be anything in the world. It does not have to be even yarn related. It can be literally anything. You can recommend me a favourite drink. You can, but I just put on there, recommend me a favourite yarn, podcast, needle, whatever you want. So, but it doesn't have to be knitting related. Just recommend me something that I should try, so I can put it on my list of things I want to try. So go over to the thread, join the group. Must join the group if you want to be in the giveaway as well. And yeah, we'll have fun hopefully over there. It'd be really nice. And follow me on Instagram, and I'm always posting stuff, and I always follow back as well because I just love seeing what other people put on there as well. So yeah, join me over there. So this week I got a little bit mini obsessed. Now, I have never had mini skeins before the Nora George Yarns mini skeins. I haven't bought any before, and I have been watching Knitting Expat. So I watch podcasts, like I pick a podcaster, and if I like the look of them, I will go back to the very beginning and watch all of their episodes. So I did it with the Bakery Bears, did it with the Grocery Girls, Sandy by the Lakeside, Hey Sister podcast, and now I'm doing it with the Knitting Expat. I've got a list so long. I think after that I'm going to go to Craft House Magic or Danny from Little Bobbins podcast. Those are my 2 next ones, and they're fighting it out in my head which one's going to go first. But I am in the 70s of the Knitting Expats. I've started at the beginning, I'm in the 70s. I'm really enjoying it. It's on in the background when I'm washing up, or when Ellie, my toddler, is having a nap, or I'm just cleaning or doing anything tedious especially, and then it's on if the football's on and Chris wants to watch football, or anything on the telly that I'm not interested in. I'll just put my headphones in and watch a podcast and knit instead. So she gets a lot of minis. That lady gets a lot of minis, whether or not she swaps them or gets them as gifts, whatever. She's got a lot of minis in her life. and I really want to get back onto my cozy memory blanket that's upstairs, or maybe start another one. But first I need to make all these hearts, and I really wanted lots of variation, so I got all of my, I went proper all around the house and found all of my sock yarn scraps. And I've been knitting socks since I was 17, so that's 11 years. I've been knitting in general since I was 5, so you know, that's 23 years. And there's a lot of yarn in this house, and in the garage. When we moved 2 years ago, I went into the garage and found some stuff. I was like, I'm so glad this isn't ruined. There was a lot of Malabrigo scraps and all sorts, to be honest. So got all of those in, started scanning them up. Then I was on Instagram, and I think it was Lay Family Yarn. They posted a post about wanting to do a swap advent calendar again, like they've done it the last couple of years. So you go over to their Instagram, and there's a post on there, an advent calendar post, but they'll match you up, and you can do domestic or international shipping, and you pick a pair, you get signed up with a person, and you do a mini skein for every day up to Christmas. And then if you want to do a Christmas present one as well, then you discuss it with your partner at the time. She's going to set it up in the next couple of months. I think she said like from September. But you just go on there to say you're in, like register your interest, which I have done. And I thought, right, I'm going to start scanning out and see what I've actually got, because I might need to get involved in some swaps so that I have enough different mini skeins to be able to do it. Well, went round the house, and I haven't even got a mini skein from half of the scraps, and I was already at over 25, and I thought, we're fine. But I would like to do some swaps for me. So I started scanning up what I have and a few extras, and I'm scanning them like this, like a little skein. And one of the videos that I was watching, Mina's videos on the knitting, because I want to say knitting and then Mina and then became Mina. She originally used to skein hers round a ruler. So I've weighed my ruler, and my ruler is 25 grams, and then I skein it round, and I'm doing 5 gram mini skeins. Do it round around there, and then take it off and twirl it up. I used to have a niddy noddy. I used to have a spinning wheel. I got rid. I now do have a couple of drop spindles, but I don't have my niddy noddy anymore. So this is fine, it works fine, doesn't take up any extra room in my house. So I skein them up like that, and then I found these in Poundland. They're Winnie the Pooh tags, and there's loads of different ones, and I posted them on my Instagram, and they're really cute. And I looked for brown card tags, but these were £1 for 36, and I couldn't find any brown card tags. I thought they're so much nicer. So I'm scaling them up and then putting on just the details. So this is 5 grams of Bakery Bears, colourway Autumn Term at Hogwarts, Hardwick base, and then like the content. So I have loads of these, and I thought, I wonder if anyone else would like to swap with me before the Christmas one, so that I can get more mini skeins for my wedding things, because I don't have a lot of money to buy lots of mini skeins. But if people were willing to swap, that would be great. And I just happened to be on Mina, the Knitting Expats, podcast group on Ravelry, and there is a self-managed mini skein swap group on there, and you just put on there what you'd like to swap or that you're interested in swapping, and people can get back to you if they're willing. And it was a few months since there'd last been a post on there, but I posted on there and said, would anyone be interested? And the same day had an answer back from a lovely lady in Sweden, and I'm not going to mention her name or anything because I haven't talked to her about doing that. And I sent off my package yesterday morning, and so hopefully she'll send hers this week coming. And we swapped 12 mini skeins, so I put in 12 different mini skeins, all with a little label on, most of which I knew the content or knew what it was. There was a few that I had to label as mystery stash because I wasn't sure because they were so old, and I just didn't have ball bands. And I put in a few extras, just like other little bits, my stitch markers and other little things, and sent that off. And so hopefully I will get some mini skeins back soon, which would be amazing. And I am happy to do more swaps. So if there's anyone else out there who has a few 5 gram minis and they want to swap, let me know on Ravelry or whatever. Just send me a message. I'd be really up for it. I've got a few more, so let me know. So yeah, so that's what's gone on this week. My Ravelry group, just setting up my Ravelry group has been amazing. There's only a few people in there, but considering considering I hadn't really talked about it anywhere, it's been lovely to have people come and join and already enter in the giveaway. There's only a couple of people that entered in the giveaway, and to be honest, I don't mind if there's not many people that come in there at all, because the people that do are massively cheering me up and making me feel great about not, you know, I might not have any knitting friends in the real world, but there is a community out there, and I have, even though it's not by tons and tons of people yet, I have already got like a little group that are like, hi, and it's really, really nice just to have people to chat to about the things that I'm interested in that no one else in my real life is. And then other things that we have done this week are just general life stuff, not involving knitting, though I have been knitting through most of it. We went to see Jimmy Carr on Friday night. We really like Jimmy Carr. I posted about him on Instagram, just posted like a screenshot, like a picture of the stage beforehand, like with his picture up and that. And I lost a few followers straight away. So I think there might be some people that don't like him. You know, the whole tax thing, he had to pay his bill. Like, we think he's funny. We've liked him since he was not that big, like years and years and years ago. I was in my either very early 20s, late teens when we first went to see him, and Chris really likes him, and we just had a really good night laughing. And they say laughter's best medicine. My toddler's been quite grumpy in the last few weeks. She's not been sleeping very well, and it just, laughing for that amount of time was just brilliant. And her godparents, because we're not religious, we don't have godparents, we're godparents, they came over and babysat, and she didn't go to bed, which was fine. We got back to bed, we got home at about 10:30. She was very obviously waiting for us, but even the night before that, she didn't go to bed until 5 to 10. We put her in her cot and she screams, and we've got a really good routine with a book. We're trying not to have any telly on, so there's no like overstimulation. Put her down to bed after a bath, lavender flavoured stuff in there to like try and help her sleep. She'll just stand in her cot and scream, and I just can't do it. I can't leave her to scream, and she'll scream and then she'll start to cough if you do try and ignore her and leave her up there, and then she'll make herself sick very quickly as well. It doesn't take long for that to happen, and it's absolutely awful. So we have been encouraging her to sleep. We constantly take her up to her bed, and of doing everything I can, like not letting her have too many naps, not letting her have too late a nap, but it's really not working at the moment, and something needs to change, because I mean, I don't know if you could hear her, but when I started this she was still awake. I don't think she's gone to bed. I think she'll probably still be up, and I did hear Chris go upstairs a little while ago, so she might have gone, but she just wants to play and she's not interested. We've been out for a walk with Buggy and she just sits bolt upright. She's not interested in laying down. Taking her out in the car and put her in the car seat, and she leans forward like this in the car seat, desperate not to fall asleep. I don't know what's going on. She sleeps perfectly the other end, like she sleeps through until like 8:30 in the morning, which is, to be fair, what she used to do before she wasn't sleeping anyway, so that's her normal wake up time. But it's just really awful. So if anyone has any amazing tips, let me know. I'm not going to let her cry it out. Can't do it. Don't want to be cleaning up the sick all the time. And if you have any magic tricks, that'd be great. So we've been dealing with that this week. Jimmy Carr we went on, and then yesterday, Saturday, I was on a daytime Hindu, which was really fun. It was majorly involving alcohol and drinking. You know, I'm not a big drinker, and I don't drink fizzy. I don't mind some cocktails, but only really because they mostly taste like fruit juice and stuff, and I like that. But we did cocktail making, and it was actually really good, and we had a real laugh, and it was really nice to have a day where I was just, I don't know, free without a small child dribbling on my shoulder or licking my face. That's her new thing. She comes up, she goes, cat, and then goes so there we go. And I missed her like crazy, and the minute I got home I was like, oh, I missed you. But while I was out, it was nice to have a bit of a grown-up day. It was lovely. and I knit all the way there in the car, and then I put my knitting in my bag because the bride, who is one of my best friends and who knows how much I knit and knows that I knit all the time, she is the type to really appreciate that I would just put my knitting away for her hen do. So I did not knit through her hen do. But we just had a very, very busy week. Then today we went into Norwich, into the city, and he finally tried on a suit for the wedding. So we're buying our suits, and we've got a lot of men to buy them for, and it's just getting closer and closer, and he's a procrastinator, so forced him finally to go and found the suits. He found them straight away, like me with my wedding dress. I found it in 20 minutes. He found his suit within 20 minutes, and they're all going to be tailor-made, so all the guys have to go in and try them on and try get their fitting all done. And then because we got it done so quickly and had so much time left, we nipped into the jeweller's where he got my engagement ring, and we bought our wedding rings. And we didn't spend tons of money, but I'm really happy with what we got. And he keeps going on, I think it's really bad because we spent more money on mine than yours to me, and I'm like, you could give me the extra, make up the difference, and I could spend it on wool. He was like, it didn't agree with me on that one. But yeah, we just had a really nice day. They took my engagement ring. I feel bare. Can you see my tan line? Look at the tan line. I've not taken it off for a year and a half, and now I've got a tan line. No, it was big. So I've lost about 4 stone lost since I had my little girl, and I put some back on. I got to 5 stone. I've put a bunch back on. I need to lose that as well. But I'm a bit more relaxed about it now. But I've lost about 4 stone since he proposed, and the ring was perfect fit when he proposed. And then I tried it. I've lost it a couple of times. It's fallen off my finger. So I had this cheap costume jewellery ring that was a much smaller size. I just rammed down on top of the engagement ring just to keep it on my finger. And we went there today, and she was like, "What's that? Why are you wearing another ring? Is that a wedding ring?" I was like, "No, this is just to hold my engagement ring on." She was like, "Oh, well, because you got it from here." And we actually got a discount because I got my engagement ring there. We got 10% off our wedding rings. And then they said, "Do you want us to resize it?" And they measured me, and I've gone down 2 ring sizes. So they're redoing my ring. So right now I just have my tan line to prove that I am engaged. But it just feels very odd to not have anything on there at all. I almost want to wear my wedding ring now just so I have a ring on there. I'm like, it's weird. But yeah, I think that's about it. So please do come join me on Instagram and Ravelry, because I would love to have you there. Please do subscribe if you want to be notified of my future podcasts. I'm probably going to load this up tomorrow morning, Monday morning. That should hopefully be my new routine. I was really keen to come and get on that routine straight away, like stay on it this week. Started it last week, carry on like as I mean to go on, and hopefully record every Sunday, post every Monday. So if you've sat through all this rambling, me just telling you about my life this week, which hasn't been that interesting for other people, I'm sure, then thank you so much. I hope to see you next time. If anyone has any recommendations, go and tell me on my Ravelry group, and you might win my bundle of things. We should have another prize coming from an amazing Etsy shop owner who said they'll put something extra in. I don't know if I'll put that in this giveaway. I might pick it for another giveaway in the future, because there's quite a few things in this one already. I will get those things out though next week and show you again, just have a little reminder of what I've got gathered up for a giveaway. So yeah, thank you so much for watching if you've got this far. I really appreciate it. This is a brilliant outlet for me and I love it. And if anyone has a podcast themselves and is watching and wants to let me know about it, please do comment and let me know so I can add you to my little list of podcasts to watch. Yeah, thanks very much guys, happy knitting, and I'll see you next week.